Hey guys, it's Angel, and welcome back to the channel. And yes, things look pretty sci-fi today, and I'm floating inside a pontoon helipad. We're checking out... You know what? Screw this. I'm just going to basically put us on the actual pad itself for this, because apparently, you know, Flight Sim doesn't want to actually put things on the ground. This is the Got Friends team's Astro One. And I've never had so much fun in my flight sim life. But this is coming from their last EV skimmer thing, which was amazing, right? This aircraft was inspired by, of course, the evolving industry of electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. Now, essentially, it's a quadcopter with a seat. It's like a buggy that they strapped quadcopter parts onto. And it is a super cool concept. These are being developed in real life. Jetson One, I believe, is one of the ones that's been worked on. And it's a cool concept that is flight without a pilot's license, limited in its capability, more so than, you know, ultralights and vehicles of the same type. But this thing is very cheap. It's like $10, $12 from Got Friends' website. It is payware. The scenery that we're at right now and the next one we'll go to are both free. They do need this aircraft to work, but it's a free scenery. Nothing else will work on this scenery, by the way. Just telling you now. No other aircraft will probably work with this. It's kind of hard. Either way, this aircraft, it comes with a bunch of cool little features, a bunch of cool modes, which we'll take a look at today as well. And it has like a terrain tracking LiDAR, altimeter control, sport modes, boost modes. It is super cool. Let's hop inside the cockpit here and take a look. Now, as you can see, we have a glass bowl cockpit. We can change that out by clicking on our seatbelt here. Oh, we can charge the battery. That is cool. Okay, so we click on the seat and we can make it transparent so you can actually see all the way through, which I'm going to do. Now, if we click here, the prop guard, I'll just click these back on a second and you can look at the outside. You can make it like that. That feels pretty dangerous, if I'm honest. So, we'll go back in here. Oh, yeah, the batteries are charged, so we'll click on the seat and we'll click on the guards. Which is kind of cool. It has these little fins on the sides as well. Go faster and slicing your friends. I choose to think that's what they're for. Now, we have got mirrors. They don't really do much. We have got earplugs, which make everything quiet. Personally, I like the sound like a lawnmower. We have our throttle here. With our altitude terrain tracking control when we're in track mode. We can basically engage that with our prop lever. Here, using my prop lever. That controls that for us. Our throttle starts the engine, or the props, because it's electric, of course, and we'll basically stop them. It's electric. Goes from 0 to lots. Now, we have different modes here. Boost gives us a really good speed boost. We'll test those out as we go. Sport mode is a bit more kind of nimble. We have hover mode, which enables it to basically hold position, and track mode, which is what will give you the LiDAR terrain following. This thing is a ton of fun. I really, really love it. Let's go take it for a spin around the track here. In fact, I'm going to basically start off by engaging our motors. And then I need to find the right mode here on my... That's sport mode. But let's try it in sport mode, shall we? So we'll give it some gas. We'll move forward to the start lane. Now, it doesn't use the Sober's helicopter or fixed-wing flight models. It uses its own, through its own independent physics engine, which is kind of cool. And the sport mode is a lot quicker, you'll find. And doesn't have the same terrain protection. So we're going to bounce off a few things, I guarantee you, today. Whee! Yeah, if I miss parts of this course, I don't care. This is probably... And after the Lake Skipper, this is probably the most fun I've actually had in Flight Sim ever. Because there's nothing like this. This is what we can do with this new simulator. And for some reason, the Got Friends guys keep doing this sort of stuff, where they just go outside of the realm of realism and possibility and make something awesome in our simulator. You can have multiplayer races with these things. You can literally pod race in near present day technology. Obviously, glowing, hovering beams of light and energy are not a thing, but I don't think we're going to complain too hard about that, are we? Now, this is where things are going to get tricky for us. Gotta make sure we kind of predictably turn early because there is some lag in terms of how it can actually... I'm missing the beam there. rotate. I've not put a ton of flighters into this, but sport mode is much more nimble, I'm finding. Definitely what you want to be in for a race. You'll find it's a lot more responsive, but there's a lot more kind of nuance to flying it. Rudder pedals do give input here. I'm gaining some altitude, so let's drop some throttle back out there. Flying with normal kind of flight controls here, so forward on my yoke goes faster and pitches forward. It's a little helicopter in that regard. In fact, yeah, it's very helicopter-y, but very automatically stable. Now, obviously, Asobo gave us a EVTOL or VTOL type drone aircraft in the 40th anniversary, which kind of sucked. This doesn't fly anything like that. This flies amazingly differently and feels like you're actually flying a drone. I'm going to make weird noises during this video. Just get used to that fact already. Okay, there we go. So imagine racing with other players in something like this. That'd be so cool. There we go. And we're through. We should come around to the back of the course here. This actually feels like a racing. It really does. Obviously with more practice and nuance you can set up racing lines and go quicker. So I'm going full throttle here. You'll pick up some speed for this final leg. I'm pretty sure we drop over the ridgeline here, so I'm going to want to basically angle it down. Yeah, sport mode is very much a speed element here. You're not getting that same kind of terrain-hugging lag. We'll do a lap with that on in a second. As we go up to the end of the course. Didn't quite touch the ground there, but nearly did. This is me going flat out here. Try and set up my line up here to come over the crest. And then we'll come down onto the race line. So, I'm going to bring it down. Boing. Okay. Right, I will set us up on the grid over here. Because we have a starting grid. Oh, that's water, technically. Boing. Yeah, don't fly with collisions turned on with this sort of thing. You will have a horrible time. Okay, just sit down, okay? I'm still learning the nuance of landing this, so forgive me for being awful. Okay, power's off. Right, where's my sport mode? Okay, that's track mode here. Now, track mode does use the LiDAR. You can hear the beeping there. So if I control my pitch, we can set our minimum kind of altitude, our set zone altitude here. As you'll look on the HUD there, you notice we can set this where we want it to be. Let's go for about 10. We'll put these in. Listen to how quiet it suddenly is. And then we can give ourselves speed, but it's not quite the same way, because we do kind of get this more rubbery feeling of the aircraft being very much kind of controlled by that altitude. So you might actually, in this mode, want to fly it with that. It's a little safer. We turn the sound back on here. It's very much a case of controlling it with your pitch control. This feels much more terrain following. So as you see, we'll come down here. We'll drop down. And it'll almost automatically kind of follow the terrain. Killing everything. And you'll hear the LiDAR tracking going on. It's a little bit less controllable, I find. That's hover mode. Hover mode just goes whee. So it's going to really hold us in station there, see? We can control it, but it's almost going to bring us back to an even keel and slow us down again. So we could really just hold this at a hover if we want to. Which would be great for a race control type view if you didn't have drones, but we do. Oh, boost mode. Whee! We get like 4 seconds of this before it dies out again. So that was kind of pointless, but there you go. Where is... And you'll see it refilling that bar on the boost mode. So if we're back in sport, we can go cruising around like maniacs. Back into the course here. And you'll see sport mode is definitely the one you want to be in terms of performance and agility. It really does give you that finer control where your altitude and your airspeed are all controlled by your inputs. It's very helicopter in that regard, just with less power inputs. See, I'm just cranked to full on this and let it ride where it wants to ride. There we go. Dive through there. This is definitely one where a controller would be a great idea. I'm not willing to fly this with a controller because I don't know how to fly with a controller. And I'm flying on a yoke rather than a joystick, which makes my life a lot more difficult, but it is a ton of fun. Now, you don't just get this race course, but you know what would be great with this? The Victoria Falls scenery would be amazing with this aircraft. We'll go over here. I mean, Utah's gorgeous anyway, but look at this facility we have. You know what, we'll put hover mode on, we'll try and land on one of the pads we have back over here, then we'll go check out the canyon, which is entirely a terrifying experience. It's a lot of fun, though. Right, so here's our pads where we started. And there's our little airfieldy thing over there. So we have a whole race facility here, really. It's super cool. Alright, let's go find a pad, shall we? Right. Knock off sport mode. No, wrong one. No, wrong one! Yeah. You know, we'll just keep the modes off here. We'll just fly this like a normal pilot. Which means wobbling around quite a bit because this is very nuanced. It counts. There we go. We're down. Let's go check out the canyon, shall we? So here we are in further north in Utah at the canyon run. This is a blast. So let's engage the correct mode we want for this. So we're going to want not hover. Sport mode. Yeah, we want sport mode. Let's power on. And let's try and survive this horrifying mess. I wouldn't recommend track mode in this because you have to make a lot of vertical adjustments to your altitude. Up and down. So you're going to want to basically have that fine control. This gives you, look, horses. I'm going to keep my speed relatively low for this first run. And yes, this is a rock tunnel we're going to fly through. Because reasons. Okay. We're doing 55. I'm assuming this is knots. Oh, KMS. KMH. Oh, God. Ugh. Let's get under this. Oh, that's a rock. We hit a rock. Turn ourselves around. We'll fly out of here. Again, when you're practicing this, you're going to bounce off a lot of things. So it's over here, down here. I've run this 3 times before I recorded this, so I have a slight amount of kind of awareness of where the course goes. And this is the scary bit. Oh, God. Oh. Let's try that again, shall we? Okay, let's try and do this full speed. If I'm even capable of doing this. If we explode on rock face, that's just pod racing, baby. That's a rock. That's a rock. Rock. We're attached to a rock. Okay, that's another rock. Okay. Between a rock and a hard place. Detaching yourself from surfaces can be a little interesting in this sim. Oh, there we go. Back to full throttle. So I screwed up early. That's fine. We're okay with that. Okay, stay low, but not too low under this. Okay, we nailed that part. Just the chute of death to come. This is a really fun vehicle. Like, I'm marveled constantly by the amount of fun we can have with this simulator. Yes, okay. One last run. I'm hearing one last run. This time we nail it. This time we nail it. I think once you get used to the behaviour of this vehicle, it really is a lot of fun. And you can do a lot of things with it. You just got to learn its tendencies, where to give it what I'd call rudder input, and where to give it, or yaw input, and where to give it pitch and roll, and speed. Okay. Okay, under here. I'm concentrating. I may not talk as much. I want to nail this lap. Tight exits. Drop it down. I want to be on the left-hand side here as I enter this drop. Down we go. Under, over, round, and we're through. Whew. Yeah. That's a rock. This is so much fun. It really is. I'm having such a whale of a time. They created epic scenery for this and amazing behaviour, because nothing flies like this. Even if you don't use this very often, just messing around or even multiplayer racing with friends in this is so much fun. I wonder if I can... Yep, I can do a loop-the-loop in a drone. Cool. And I can barrel roll a drone. Oh, that's a rock. Let's not do that. Basically, you can fly this thing like an actual FPV drone. Let's do the course backwards. That can't be bad for us, can it? No. There's so much fun to be had with this sort of vehicle. It's so different, so unusual, and it creates a really fun experience in something we ordinarily take very seriously. I said the same thing with the Lake Skipper, and I will say the same thing again. Got friends, guys? Oh, there's a pause, I think. Keep creating your weird and wonderful aircraft, because these things are a ton of fun. And this has made me smile a lot, which is already worth the $12-ish it cost me. I definitely feel like I got my money's worth even from just playing with this for an hour and recording a video for you guys. Oh, 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 no. We are dead. Hi. There we go. Let's not be here, shall we? There we go. I highly recommend this thing. This is a blast and a really enjoyable little aircraft. It's just silly fun. Who needs to be serious all the time with Flight Sim? Go get it. Go try it. It's a ton of enjoyment. I'm not being sponsored by them. I paid for this myself, and I love it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.